Today in Quid's Corner we'll be taking a look at the extra long screwdrivers.
Okay, today's Quid's Corner is the Poundland Tommy Walsh 2 set of extra long screwdrivers. You get this, they come in this hanger. I've obviously kept them on there because a couple of these, I've actually bought a couple of these. I think they're that good to buy. Obviously one for the garage, one for the workshop, and one for other uses. Now what I actually like, obviously they're extra long. You don't really need to use extra long screwdrivers this long or longer. You can, there are some screwdrivers out there that are even longer than these, and you don't really have to use them that often. But the Phillips one is useful to me mainly for my I mean, this one's out in the workshop, but they're mainly useful for me for my computer maintenance, because although you can do it with a regular sized screwdriver, which would be about that long, anybody that knows custom computer building and things like that, if you've got a great big massive heatsink, sometimes you need to remove the motherboard. You know, getting down the back of that heatsink with the screwdriver, where the handle usually stops and starts, you know, about there thick, and it's hard to get it down there, and you kind of got your fingers down the back and messing around to try and get them screws out. Where this one, obviously it sits up high up above the heatsink, and you're well out the way, so you can get to all your screws a lot easier. The flat end that comes in the pair set is useful for me for on my motorcycle, in between the small gap just in between the two parts of the fairing on the side of the bike, allows me to get through and make adjustments to my to the carburetor. So the flat one is useful for me for that. Obviously they'll be useful for other things as well, but they are what they're mainly, the two types are mainly useful for me for. Now they are, if we can zoom in, chrome vanadium. Again, obviously Far Eastern, I would assume, coming from there. And the ends are not hardened, although they're made to look that way. I think that's actually black paint. But I think you'll find a lot of screwdrivers out there nowadays have black paint. So a little bit similar to the German HSW screwdrivers that I got, in the fact that it's chrome vanadium all the way to the very tip, with no hardening on there. I think that's just paint. It's just made to look like it's hardened. I think a lot of screwdrivers out there today have that paint on there. Same with the Phillips. So it's painted. Now I do see these. You can see these screwdrivers online, especially eBay, from other manufacturers. With the, you know, they look exactly the same, identical, and the way it joins into the handle and everything is all the same, except obviously they're just plain. It's a plain black or blue or red handle or whatnot, with probably a different colour plastic, hard bit of plastic on the handle as well. Now the difference here with these ones is I see that the tips are not magnetic, so they're not magnetic. That's why I like to use these with my computer equipment, because they're not magnetic, so you won't damage any equipment or wipe any drives or anything like that with the magnetism there. That's probably another reason why the cost is lower. The same screwdrivers are about £3 or £4 on eBay. You know, you can find them, and they clearly look to be the same thing pretty much, except the only difference is obviously they may well be magnetic, or maybe labelled as being magnetic. These ones aren't. So that's like I say, that's good for computer maintenance work. The thing with this is obviously Far Eastern chrome vanadium is never usually as strong. It's getting better, but you know, seeing you can never be too sure of the grading of it. But obviously for £1 it's not bad. I use them like I say, very rarely. I'm with my computer, another set that I got for using my computer equipment, and that's not really hard. It's not really hard going on the Philips style tips when you do computer maintenance work. If you do actually would like them to be magnetised, you can actually buy magnetiser, demagnetiser units out there. You just put some batteries in, and any screwdriver you can either demagnetise it and send it back to normal again, or magnetise it anyway. So I think they're only a couple of pounds, but you know, I'll just put that out there. Only one other flaw with them is you might find a slight kink or bend in the actual shaft, but it might be slight. Obviously if you put it flat, you have to hang the handle over the edge of the table, and then you know, kind of run it along the table, you'll see you might see the odd bend or the odd slight kink, but that doesn't seem to hamper their performance when you're using them at all. You can still use them. So this is one of their ones that I would recommend you picking up actually for £1. In fact, I think I've got 3 or 4 of these. I think they're worth it. It's like I say, they're exactly the same thing that you can pick up online with a different coloured handle and things like that. So and you'll probably find them for a little bit more, you know, like £2.50, £3, £4. So it's worth picking these ones up for £1. Like I say, the kinks that you get on them isn't too bad. It's workable. It's probably something like when it's been in transit or stored or something, and some weight of something else has probably been you know, just pressed down on it a little bit slightly when it's if the you know, the packaging's had something else, pallet or something else on top of it. I don't know, but you know, it's only ever so slight. It's not really a problem. So I'd give these ones a thumbs up.